Behind every legend lies another story, one hidden in the shadows, carried in silence, and guarded by those who bear the greatest burdens of all. And we all know the tale of Harry Potter, the boy who lived, right? The child who defied death, defeated Voldemort, and brought peace to the wizarding world. But what if I was to tell you that the story we know is only half of the truth? That behind Harry's every step stood a man whose choices, secrets, and sacrifices shaped not just the boy, but the entire fate of the magical world. And this is the story of Harry Potter through the eyes of Albus Dumbledore, a man who was looked at as a hero, was condemned as a manipulator, and remembered as the greatest wizard of his age. From the prophecy that marked Harry's future to the secrets Dumbledore carried to his grave, this is the untold perspective, a tale not of the boy who lived, but of the man who made sure he lived long enough to save them all. This is Harry Potter from Dumbledore's perspective. Now, from Albus Dumbledore's perspective, Harry Potter's story doesn't just begin with Harry. It begins with a prophecy that a child born at the end of July is destined to have the power to defeat the Dark Lord. And Dumbledore knows this prophecy is dangerous. Once Voldemort learns even part of it, he will act. And he does, right? Lily and James Potter are murdered, and Voldemort is seemingly destroyed when he tries to kill their infant son Harry. But for Dumbledore, this isn't a victory, it's a responsibility. Harry is just a baby, now famous as the boy who lived, and Dumbledore knows that fame could destroy him if not tempered. And he decides to leave Harry with the Dursleys, his only living relatives, even though he knows they will never show him true love. But here's the thing, Dumbledore is playing the long game. Harry must grow up away from the wizarding world's glory so he can be humble when the time comes. And so Dumbledore never lets Harry out of his sight, even if Harry doesn't realize it. He places protections on Privet Drive. He sends Hagrid to introduce Harry to the entire Wizarding world, and he quietly guides events at Hogwarts. And from Harry's perspective, Dumbledore seems like a distant but kindly headmaster. But from Dumbledore's perspective, every year is a test, a chance to see how Harry grows. When the Philosopher's Stone is threatened, right? Dumbledore doesn't just protect it, he creates trials that test Harry's courage, loyalty, and purity of heart. And he's not careless, but Dumbledore is intentional, and every step is meant to prepare Harry for what's to come. Now, as Harry grows, Dumbledore does carry secrets that weigh heavily on him. And he knows about, Voldemort's Horcruxes long before he tells Harry. He knows Harry himself might be one. He knows that the prophecy may demand Harry's death. But how do you tell a child that? So, Dumbledore shields Harry as long as he can. He mentors him, but he also withholds the darkest truths until Harry is strong enough to face them. Critics call this, manipulation, but from Dumbledore's perspective, he's protecting Harry's innocence while he still has it. And by the time the Tri-Wizard Tournament comes around, Dumbledore knows Voldemort's return is imminent. Cedric's death, Voldemort's resurrection, these are the moments he dreaded, but he begins mobilizing the Order of the Phoenix. Every decision Dumbledore makes from here on out is with Harry's destiny in mind. He gives Harry access to his pensieve, right? Which reveals Voldemort's past and shows him the path to finding Horcruxes. He's teaching, he's guiding, and preparing while carrying the burden that Harry may one day have to die. And when Dumbledore is cursed by the Horcrux ring, he knows his time is short. He makes arrangements with Snape not to betray Harry, but to protect him when he's gone. And from Harry's perspective, Snape killing Dumbledore looks like an ultimate betrayal, but from Dumbledore's perspective, it's the last move in a carefully laid plan. And Snape will remain Voldemort's trusted spy, and Harry will be forced to step up as the leader he needs to become. And Dumbledore's death isn't an accident, but it's a choice. It's made to give Harry the best chance of winning. And in the end, when Harry learns the truth through Snape's memories, he finally sees what Dumbledore saw all along. That Harry himself was a Horcrux, and that he must willingly lay down his life. And from Dumbledore's perspective, this was always the hardest truth. He believed in Harry's strength, in his ability to make the ultimate sacrifice, not of duty, but out of love. And Harry does. And he walks into that forest ready to die. And while Voldemort is finally defeated, Harry becomes the man Dumbledore always hoped he would be. Not corrupted by fame, not tempted by power, but defined by love and loyalty. And Dumbledore's plan was never perfect. He made mistakes, carried regrets, and kept too many secrets. But from his perspective, everything he did was for Harry, to protect him, to prepare him, and ultimately to give him the choice that defined the fate of the frickin' Wizarding world. Now, Harry's story may be one we all know, But when you look at it through Dumbledore's eyes, it becomes something else entirely. A story of faith, sacrifice, and a mentor who carried the weight of the future on his shoulders long before a boy with a lightning scar ever arrived at Hogwarts. Now, thank you guys for listening to this video about Harry Potter from Dumbledore's perspective. Please like and subscribe and ring the notification bell if you want more Harry Potter videos on the Loreverse channel. Have a great day, y'all. Stay crispy and peace out.